Welcome, everyone, to a day of celebration and information about Black history. Open your hearts and minds and enjoy what has been planned. Marcus Garvey stated, "A people without a knowledge of their history is like a tree without roots." Let's not be like the tree, but like the bright people we are, and absorb our history. And again, welcome to our program. After viewing today's program, be sure to follow the link below in the description of this video. Current OFTC students who can answer a couple of simple questions about this program will receive a free t-shirt from SGA. Go OFTC Owls.
We'd like to welcome Miss Eryn Rogers from 13 WMAZ Morning and Midday. Miss Eryn Rogers is a two-time Emmy Award winner with WSPA TV in Greenville, South Carolina. While she was there, she covered several stories of nationwide importance. Miss Rogers worked as a reporter and fill-in anchor in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Topeka, Kansas. She has many other achievements, as well as an internship with MSNBC's Hardball with Chris Matthews. When she's not working, she enjoys exercising, exploring new restaurants, and volunteering in her local community. She also tutors third graders in reading weekly as part of the Read United program through the United Way of Central Georgia. Everybody please welcome Miss Eryn Rogers.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing great today. I want to first say thank you for allowing me to be part of the OFTC Black History Month celebration. It is truly such an honor to be here. If you don't know, my name is Eryn Rogers. I am the morning and noon anchor at 13 WMAZ, so I definitely live by the quote that the early bird gets the worm. So starting off, I really wanted to kick it off with one of my favorite quotes. It's by Dr. Mae Jemison. If you don't know who she is the first Black female astronaut, so pretty cool there. But she said, "Never be limited by other people's limited imaginations." And that just really sunk in with me. It kind of speaks to my personal journey, a little bit of what I'll share with you. So I want to say, I guess, my education journey, the one thing that kind of kicked it into high gear was back when I was in fourth grade. I grew up, born and raised in Atlanta. So I went to a private school outside of in Metro Atlanta. And I had a fourth grade teacher who would often talk about her family's connection to the KKK, her family's history in the KKK. I was actually the only Black student in that school. So that already came with a lot of incidents. But that specific class, you can imagine, didn't go well for me. But it kind of hit its boiling point one afternoon. We were in class watching a movie. I was talking to one of my best friends at the time. Shouldn't have been talking in class, I know, but hey, now I make a living out of talking, right? So she pulled me out of class. She got really angry, pulled me out of class, even though, it takes two people to talk. And she yanked me to the bathroom. I was 9 years old at the time. And I still vividly remember her kind of grabbing me by the shoulders and saying, "A little girl like you will never amount to anything if you keep up behavior like that." And what sunk into me was, a little girl like you will never amount to anything. Well, I will tell you, that day I learned a little something about will and determination, because I was determined to prove her wrong. And after that day, I don't think I got anything, not even I don't think, I know I did not get anything less than an A- on any test, any final grade, until I got to college. In my junior year, I got a B. So education was very important to me. I worked very hard at it. I set goals. And I think that's what really helped me to get to where I am today. And I want to encourage everyone to dream and to dream big. But I think the important thing when you're dreaming big, you have this far off goal in the future. But to get there, I think it's important to set little goals, little attainable goals along the way. So maybe it's this month, I want to make sure I apply to this job or internship that I really wanted, and that's my goal for the month. Or this month, I want to start writing this book I've always wanted to write, or STEM, I want to start coding, learning how to code, whatever it may be. Do it in small increments, because when you accomplish that, it gives you that momentum to go further into your education, into your goals, into your future. And I hope nobody has an experience like that. But that is what motivated me. Luckily, though, I always had an idea of what I wanted to do when I became an adult. So from the age of 8, I knew I wanted to do what I'm doing now. And I've been blessed to stay on this path. And I want to use the word intention. You'll probably hear it again, because I do feel like I had to be very intentional in my steps. So when I was younger, my family would always watch Channel 2 in Atlanta, WSB. Monica Pearson was on the news. And from a young age, I would look up to her. It was so important. It was so special to me to see a woman who looked like me in that role. And I remember telling my parents that I wanted to be just like her when I grew up. Thankfully, I have the most supportive parents, and they really got behind me. Even, I mean, it's a kid's pipe dream at that point. But when I got a little bit older, got into high school, my mom looked for journalism camps to put me in. So every summer I was going away to journalism camp. So by the time it got time for college, I knew that I liked it from the journalism camps that gave me a little bit of exposure. So by the time I got to college, I made sure that I was applying to schools that had really good journalism programs. I knew I wanted to do broadcast journalism. So I was able to kind of be intentional with that, go to school. When I got to school, my school has one of the top journalism schools in the country. And then I also picked a school that would allow me options. So my school had a program where you could get your bachelor's and your master's degree in 4 years if you wanted to. I made a goal my freshman year that was something that I wanted to attain. And so throughout my years in college, before my junior year when you had to apply, I worked really hard, got the GPA needed, got the experience needed to apply to that through internships my former years in college. And then I was able to apply for that accelerated master's program, got accepted, and then was able to get my master's degree on top of my bachelor's in the same amount of time. More importantly, it came under undergrad tuition. So all my scholarships, all of my financial aid rolled over to that. So that was also very important to me. But it just opened up so many more doors in my field, in just education. It always gives me something else that I can do. So I would always recommend, if that is a possibility for you, to never limit your learning. I know when I was growing up, my grandfather would always say, they can never take away your education. And I think that always resonated with me, because each step of my education got me to the next step, which got me to where I am today. And right now, I would say I am living my developing dream. I'm not where I ultimately want to be, but I'm loving where I am. And I am very fortunate to recognize that when I was a little girl, I dreamed about being an anchor. And now I'm doing that, and I'm living that 8-year-old girl's little dream. And it is a blessing. But it took a lot of hard work to get here, not only in school, but in the industry. And again, it goes back to being intentional every step of the way, the goal setting, and then the achieving. And when you can achieve because you put in the hard work in your classes, you put in the hard work in your job, in your internships, whatever it may be. You put in the hard work, networking, making those sources in your preferred field. When you achieve that goal, whether it's your small one you ticked off or that big one at the end, it just makes it so great, and it makes you feel so good about all of the sacrifices that you made to get to that point. I know I've talked a long time, but I do want to, if I leave you with anything at all, one piece of advice is, no matter where you are in life, no matter where you are in your journey, never stop being a student. Absorb everything that you can. Never stop trying to learn new things, new ideas, new cultures, whatever it may be. Absorb it all, because that will help you be a more complete person. That will help you attain those goals, achieve those goals, and brighten our future. And honestly, all of you all who are in school now, taking those steps to be a better you, you are our future. So I hope that you all have a great Black History Month. Again, I want to say thank you for allowing me to be part of it. And I hope I get to see you guys later. Have a great day.
Thank you, Eryn, for that uplifting and motivational moment. We appreciate you so very much for being a part of our African American History program. Thurgood Marshall stated that in recognizing the humanity of fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. In 1925, Harvard-trained historian Carter G. Woodson was the founder of Black History Week. The response to that event was overwhelming. Woodson was dedicated to making African American history accessible to everyone. He wanted all Americans to know the African American story and to see themselves in it. If we look at ourselves as a diverse nation, I think everyone should have conversations about their history. At OFTC, we value history and diversity. We believe that everyone has the right to be treated fairly and equally. Thank you for viewing our African American History program.